Yo, what's going on, guys? Versal here, and today we're doing another post-Justice Hunters Dinosaur deck profile. And this time we're going to be going over the Jurrac Dino version of the deck. I think some version of Jurrac is probably going to be your best bet to play in this current format because it has one card combos. The Meteor Nukes play extremely well into the format going first. Just blowing everything up is really hard for a lot of decks to play through when you can do it 3 times. And board breakers are a lot more popular now, especially like Dark Ruler and Droplets, which are something that typically hurts regular dinos when you go first a lot because you're ending on like Lars, Dolka, UCT, stuff like that. And those cards can just like insta kill you pretty much because you don't have follow up for the most part. But the the direct layering doesn't really care about those cards too much, so I think it's in a good spot for sure. And this is just going to be just Jurrac and Dinosaurs, no other sub engines. I'll be doing one with Fiendsmith and one with Ryugi pretty soon. I'm still playing the Fiendsmith version myself at the moment, but I think this one's good as well. But before I get into the deck list, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, definitely do that now. Drop a like, comment, all that good stuff. It all helps me out. And if you're interested in this dinosaur playmat or these sleeves, check out finalsaga.de. And if you decide to buy anything, use my code Reversal5 for 5% off your order. Anything you buy using the code helps support the channel directly, so definitely check them out. Leave a link in the description. So I'll get right into the list now. It is 43 cards, and I'll start with the Jurrac engine. We got the 3 Stegos, 3 Megalos, and 2 Aeolos. This is pretty much going to be the ratio every time. As far as I'm concerned, I think if you're doing anything else, it's just wrong because like you need these. And then in addition to these, I'm playing 3 Volcano in this list. I think one thing you could potentially do instead of the 3rd Volcano, you could play a Terraforming, just because I am playing Thrust in the side deck. So being able to Thrust for Volcano or Terraforming to get Volcano can be very nice, depending on what your starter was and like how you want to play that turnout. Because sometimes you can Thrust for something else and it's fine, but if you like normal and OV and it gets ashed or whatever, for example, and you don't have another combo piece in hand, being able to Thrust for a Volcano would be really good there. So that's something to consider, just doing a Terraforming instead. But if I was main decking the Thrust, I think I'd be more inclined to do that. But since I moved it to the side, I just decided to do the 3 Volcano. Now for the other dinosaur stuff, we got 3 OVs. I think in this version, when you're playing like max volcanoes, you really want to open OV still. So I decided to play 3. 1 Misk, 1 Baby, 1 Petite, and then 1 UCT, 1 Meteorus, and 1 Frostosaurus. So the babies, I think in this version, you want to play some number of them, mainly just because they can make your combos a little bit better. And because you're playing these, you can play Ground Xeno, and it just gives you more extenders and just more combo pieces. So I think including some number of babies is pretty good. You could potentially maybe play a second baby Ceratosaurus, so you have like 3 total, but I think 2's fine because you don't really want to be opening these. You really just want to open it with Ground Xeno for the most part. And then if you do happen to have one on your turn 3, you can use it as follow up, so it's not too bad, but I don't want to play too many of these. And then the Frostosaurus, this one is the thing I'm probably most iffy on. I think it's been situationally good. It's probably the best way I can describe it. It doesn't come up in every combo, but when it does come up, it's really nice to be able to go into the drill guide to recycle Misk. Sometimes you can make a Dolka with that, and it's just good in the grind game. And sometimes just being able to pop with Meteorus can just be very useful, especially sometimes in grind games. You can use this to pop and then have a Lars to stop their crackback. So I think it's probably worth playing, but I don't think you necessarily need to play it either. But It's been solid, but I'm still undecided on it. But I think it's decent. It is a very annoying brick, though, I must say. But yeah, I think the rest of the stuff's pretty normal. And then you got the 3 fossil digs, 2 ground xenos. The ground xeno is really nice in this list. Um, ground plus baby lets you do a cool combo where you can go into the drill guy to recycle Misk, and then you can make a Dolka, and then you could go through your full Jurrac combo after that. So it's a pretty high ceiling when you have the ground baby combos, which is nice, and it's just another extender. And if you only have this, you can always search for a Megalo and just destroy the Megalo. So at least you have the one nuke set up, worst case scenario. So I think Ground Xeno is really good. You could potentially play a third one, especially with Droll kind of moving to side decks. I think it's a little more reasonable to play 3 if you wanted to, but I think you'd probably want to play more than 2 total babies if you want to do that. So the rest of the deck's non-engine. I'll start with the hand traps. Got 3 Fualos, 3 Ash. This card negates Fualos. 2 Nib, 2 Bell, and 3 Imperms. I think Fua, Ash, and Imperm are like the best generic hand traps right now. And then you could play either a few more hand traps or you could play some breakers in between. I am playing some breakers still, but I decided to just lean more into the hand traps just because they're better when you go first if you get disrupted. I think Ghost Bell has a lot of application right now. It's not like the best card in the world, but it's just very versatile. You can use it defensively against like DD Crow potentially as well, which Vanquish Soul tends to main deck that card for the attribute. So it's pretty good for that. It can hit like Yummy Malice. It can hit pretty much everything. The Murkumos, stuff like that. It just has a lot of versatility. And then Nib, this card is a little hit or miss, but when it's good, it's really, really good. So I think it's okay to play 2. And this deck, when you go first and have a Nib, it's extremely good because you're blowing up the boards anyway. So if you just have this in any combination with what you're trying to do, it's pretty much impossible to break that board. So I think it's fine to play a couple of these. That's it for the hand traps. And for the breakers, playing 2 droplets, 2 Book of Eclipse, and then this isn't really like a breaker, but 1 call by. I really like Droplet and Eclipse right now because you can use them going first and second. Droplet's nice versus some of the turn 0 plays that could potentially be used against you. Then Book of Eclipse, even when you go first, if you go to like do Stego effect and they chain Imperm, you can chain Eclipse to dodge it. If they're smart, they'll just do it on summon to like avoid this type of scenario. But a lot of people don't really think about that, so you can definitely catch them with that. But I think it's pretty good. Eclipse is a really good going second card this format, with the exception of Malice. But going first, Book of Eclipse can be really good, depending on what you have and how the turn plays out. If you're not forced to do the nukes early on, just having an Eclipse can be very nice when you go first. But I think these are good, and then called by, it's just, you have to play called by. As long as it's just legal, that card should be banned, honestly. That's it for the main deck, 43 cards. For the extra deck, got the 3 Meteors, 3 Esteros, and 1 Belfido for the Jurracs. It's never going to change until we get the Bicorn. Then Dolka, Lagia, Lars, Drill Guy, Giga Cannon. This one's for the OTK that I've shown already. Dugares for turn 3, so you can pump up your Conductor. SP comes up sometimes, and then the last slot, you can either play an Anima to give your SP more value, because without Anima, SP can kind of not feel too good. But there's some situations where you want to be able to turn like a Megalo into this, so you can get the SP banish. But it doesn't come up a ton, but it definitely has came up several times. But if you don't want to play that, you could play a Chengying because you're playing the Meteor stuff. So this can come up. For the most part, you're going to end up just going for like Dugares to kill. But you could potentially go for Changing in some game states. So I think one of these can be your last slot. The rest, everything kind of comes up, especially like the outside the bottom half. Like all these come up all the time. Just kind of depends on the situations. But with Jurrac, the extra decks are kind of pretty standard for the most part because like these take up so much space. So for the side deck, some of this stuff could change, but I think 3-roll, I think you have the side roll still. Same thing with Lancia. I feel like you have to play both of these. And I'm playing the one pink, just because it's a solid card right now until a Yummy, and you could search it, so I think just playing one is okay. Then you got 2 thrusts and a talents and Duster for another target. Then 2 dark rulers. I think this card's good right now. You could potentially play something else instead of this, but I think it's a good card. Then for some traps, Black Goat. I think Black Goat Laughs is probably the best normal trap thrust target right now to hitting like a wide application of decks. Against like Yummy, for example, if you thrust into this and then call Yummy Snatchy, they're kind of just can't do much, so that's really good. And then the last slot could be like another trap if you want. Be like a D barrier. It could be that mutually affirmed destruction or whatever it's called. The thing that's pretty good against Vanquish Soul. You could play like the Impact, and a lot of people like this card. I don't necessarily like it. Sometimes it's good, but I think for the most part you don't need it, and it's usually just win more. But in the combo in this deck, with the 1-card Stego, you do end on 2 Esteros on field, so you would be able to get a second set if you wanted to. So if you play this, you'd be able to do that. But I think if you want to side it, it's okay. I don't like main decking it at all because it's really bad to draw, especially going second. But if you want to play it, you can. Then if you want to like play something else instead of Dark Rulers, if you don't want to play this altogether, kind of swap some things out. Maybe for Perulias, if you have those. You know, that card I feel like is a little weird right now, to be honest. I haven't really liked it too much personally. But yeah, that's it for the side deck. I could show like the 1-card Stego combo real quick, even though I've shown it already in the last Jurrac Dino video. But I'll just do it real quick for those who don't know how to do it. So just with Stego, you can use it to pop itself, dump a Misc, and then you get to summon your 4 level 1s. So you're going to summon 2 Megalos and 2 Aeolos. Then you're going to use the Aeolo to tag out into the Stego. Use Stego and Megalo to go into Velfido. And we're going to do the tag out again. Now you have enough to make a level 10 Synchro. Going to make Estero. Then Estero is going to set a Volcano. Then you can use your Misc for 1, 2, 3, 4. You just want to try to keep one of everything in the extra or in the graveyard if you can. Going to summon our Ovi here. Actually, no, you summon Petiter Baby here. Sorry. And then you can use the Volcano to pop the Petite or the baby. And that's going to summon Megalo from deck. And then the Petite is going to summon an Ovi. And the Ovi can search you Meteors. And then what you can do is use the Ovi to pop the Megalo. Resummon the Petite. And then you can trigger the Meteors and the Megalo. This is going to summon, and this is going to dump you an Estero. So what you can do from here is just use these 2 to go into another Estero. So now you have 2 Estero on field. You have the 1 set up in graveyard already. You have the baby that's going to get popped. So that's going to get you into follow-up. So when this gets destroyed, you can just summon an Ovi off it, and then Ovi can search you either another Ovi or can search you for conductor, whatever your hand kind of calls for. If you already have a normal summon, you can just get the conductor. And then if it's post side when you put a pink in, and you already have like an OV in hand or whatever, you could summon Pank to get an extra disruption. It just kind of depends, but you have some flexibility, and it's going to get you into the follow-up through the petite. So that's why usually you want to use the MISC for OV and then search either another OV or a conductor. But since you're leaving a petite or baby on field, you can just get it that way. And it just lets you get an extra summon negate. And the summon negates can be pretty strong. So I think that's probably the best way to do it. It's the same combo I showed in the first Jurrac Dinosaur deck profile that I did. So I still haven't found a better way to do it, especially until we get like the Burial Bicorn. But even so, like this is a little stronger, I think, anyway. But yeah, that's it. It's really hard for decks to play through this. Just the 3 nukes alone is really hard to play through, let alone with 2 summon negates on top of it. So I think it's really nice. Like I said, through board breakers, even if they hit you with like a Dark Ruler or something on these, you still have your Volcano live, and you still have this Estero in the grave whenever you want. And then when this comes down, it's going to put these 2 in the grave. So you're going to have 2 more nukes, and you're going to get your follow-up. So even through board breakers, you really don't care. It doesn't matter at all. So that's going to be it for this one. I could do like another combo video with other combos like the Ground Xeno Baby, stuff like that. If you guys want me to, just let me know. But yeah, it's going to be it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Peace.